So fear can be a very bad thing. It's actually biblical. God tells us that the devil uses that to control us. So you can let fear paralyze you. You can let it keep you from trying things that you might try, but you're too scared. Doug and me understand that very well. We had to overcome a lot of fear in order to sell our house and most our belongings and move out here. It was pretty scary, but fear can also be used as a great way to motivate you. It can be used to force you into trying things that you wouldn't normally try, and it can make you brave and take a leap of faith.
Hey there, if you're new to this channel, we're two rebels off grid. We left the city as fast as we could. We came to the country to live with these turkeys here, and we're building stuff.
Yeah, we're all about homesteading, so that's what we're doing. We're going to be talking about lots of different things. So if you are interested in homesteading or just want to follow our journey, make sure and subscribe. So a couple months back, we ended up kind of pausing work on our chicken coop. And guess what, you guys? We started back up again, but we want to just explain to you what's been going on the last few months.
Yeah, I mean, it all started out with, we had that windstorm and it came in and it blew up our tent basically. Everything in there got soaking wet. We let it all dry and we recouped what we could, but that was a major setback to our build.
Yeah, for sure. We did some things to kind of fortify the tent, and we put some things around it to kind of help block the wind, but we're kind of through windy season now. We still get winds, but the big winds that we were getting earlier in the spring have pretty much stopped. Now we're just getting hot.
Yeah. And then another setback that kept us from going on is obviously we were parked too close to our property line, and we had some nice friendly goat neighbors turn us into the county. So the county came down and we had to relocate. Took like a week to do that also.
Yeah, and just interspersed into all of that, most of you know, we've been getting lots of babies here. We've got baby chickens, we have really young goats. We just had kittens. We didn't have them. Our outdoor kitty Clara had 5 kittens, and then we just recently also got baby turkeys. So that takes a lot of time to build structures for them and make sure that they're safe and secure. So that also took some time away.
Yeah, it's definitely a jigsaw trying to figure out the fencing and how to get one animal fed without 10 different types of animals running out of the cage at the same time and eating your house plants. You know, it's kind of tricky.
Yeah, it is definitely tricky. And then we have goats that love dog food, which is weird because goats are not omnivores. They are vegetable eaters. They don't eat meat, and they're not supposed to. They don't digest it the right way. So that's another tricky thing, is feeding them separately. But anyway.
Yeah, so here we are. We're back on the coop. I've been bringing up loads of dirt. We've been filling hyperadobe bags. And why don't you tell the folks out there about your son coming out to help us?
Oh yeah, my son Tyler, he lives up in Phoenix, and he really wanted to learn more about hyperadobe building, and he really wants to be more involved in helping us with our builds. So he came down. He was here for about 4 days, I think, and he took time and was able to help us and loved doing the work. And it was so awesome to have a third set of hands here helping. It's amazing how much that helps the process. So we enjoyed having him. We got to kind of see a little bit more of the local area, and we just really had a good time. Oh, there's a lizard.
Got a lizard.
I felt it on my back.
They're
oh, okay.
There you go.
It's a friendly lizard, apparently.
We also have farm lizards.
Yeah.
We raise
Don't
lizards.
Let the turkeys see it though, because I think the turkeys might try to eat it.
Yeah, they will.
So
all right, you go on up.
Here's one of the baby turkeys.
Yeah, these are the baby turkeys.
They follow us around, you guys. I almost think that they think that we're their parents or something, but we got these guys from our neighbors, and I've always thought turkeys were not friendly, and maybe they will be as they get older, but right now they're really sweet. They like to sit on your lap and be pet, and they make this nice little noise. You've probably been hearing it in the background because they're kind of always hanging out around us.
We're gonna have to make some adaptations to the chicken house. We're gonna have to put a perch up there, along with some other things while we're doing the headers, while we're putting on headers. But today's video, we're basically going to show you us working on this chicken tower again.
Yep.
We're focusing on the headers, which are these things right up here above the doors and windows, and it gives support so that your wooden framework isn't taking the brunt of that the hyperadobe weight when it's above the door. It's all going to rest on the header instead of the framework of your door or your door itself.
Yeah, it's actually the same thing as you would do in traditional construction. So you still, with hyperadobe, you still follow some of those basic construction techniques. And the thing that's really cool, now someone's pecking at my back, must be a turkey. The cool thing is we got these railroad ties, and they're really from a local historic railroad line called the San Pedro Railroad Line. I don't know. It's the San Pedro. So it ran along the San Pedro River, which is a fairly good-sized river that comes down through Cochise County. And they pulled the tracks up years ago, and somebody sells these railroad tracks for a decent price. They're very heavy and solid. Most of them are not anywhere near like perfect construction quality. They're a little bit funky, but we were able to work some of the warped ones in with the curve of the coop, so that was pretty cool.
Almost
fell.
Yeah, I specifically, when I was fishing through the railroad ties, I actually was looking for curved and abnormal pieces of wood to fit the curve, like Keri said, the curve of this wall here, so the headers wouldn't be sticking out straight. You know, it would work. It just look odd, but this seemed to blend in a little more perfectly. But yep, you can see we're getting taller up on these bags.
Oh yeah, the wood makes a big difference. What'd he say?
He said that's what she said.
Yeah, we made quite a bit of progress this week. We had a couple days that were, it was hot, but it was really overcast, so it was a lot easier to work. And then of course when Tyler came and he helped out, we made quite a bit of progress. So we're getting pretty close to getting to the top and getting started on the roof.
So as you all know, we have a new membership tab on our YouTube homepage, and this allows people to, here we go.
It's a big dog.
This allows people to support us in a way, anywhere from like $3 a month all the way up to probably, what?
100 is our highest level.
$100 a month. We have a member that we'd like to shout out. He's our very first member.
Yeah.
His name is Eric Timmer.
Yep, and Eric has his own YouTube channel. He does really good tech reviews and reviews different products, so you can check his page out. He's super nice, and we've been corresponding a little bit with Eric, and he is interested in doing what we're doing eventually. I think he's thinking about doing it sooner rather than later. So we just want to give a big thank you and a shout out for Eric joining our membership. And we did a few videos back on our membership if any of you are interested in supporting our channel in that way. It's not required. We're still going to put these videos out and you guys can still enjoy them. And it's just for those of you that have asked how you could support us. So that's one way you can do it. You guys are probably hearing noises in the background. You might be hearing something that kind of sounds like a goose. That's actually a guinea fowl. Guinea fowl are known as the farmer's watchdog, and they are loud. So we're going to do a video about them because we've found them to be very interesting creatures indeed. And Doug wants to tell you how they came onto our farm. But we've just got things are getting bigger and growing. Clara had her babies now. The little 5 kittens are now coming up on a month old, and they're starting to get more active. We actually took the cat house she did have her babies in the cat house. We took the legs off the cat house, set it on the ground, and then we fenced that area in and took the door off so that the kittens could come and go and have more room to stretch their legs. And it's funny because they're very active and they're already starting to climb the walls of the cage. So we're gonna have to kind of watch that. They're not ready to be out here yet. They would get probably picked off by something. So anyway, the kittens are all doing great. Clara's an awesome mom and they're adorable. We've also got these big shaggy white dogs. This is Luna. Luna has the purple collar on. We actually have Ursa in an orange collar so we can tell the difference because they look so similar.
Especially at a distance when they're thumping away from you.
Yeah, and we've had a few struggles with Ursa and Luna. Most of you may or may not know, but poultry, chickens, guinea fowl, turkeys, those are not considered livestock. And so these big dogs are livestock guard dogs. They don't want to guard those birds. They want to eat them. So we've had a few issues with that. Just a few. Yeah. We're working on training them and they're getting better, but we really have to keep a pretty close eye on these guys.
Pretty much we got it down when it's overcast like this. We don't really let them loose because the whole thing that keeps them on our property is the lack of water.
Yeah.
Because the water is only on our campsite. So hot days we let them go wandering where they want pretty much, and they'll be back after about 20 minutes because they just get really hot.
Yep.
And they have all sorts of weird stuff all over their faces, and we don't know what holes they're digging into or what they're getting into, but one day I'm gonna follow them. It's gonna be like a domestic dog hunt or something like that, but without the
good luck keeping up with them. What we've also talked about doing is getting one of those little cameras that go on their dog collar so that we can watch and see what they're doing. They run fast, like when they get going. They're big dogs, so they're hard to, I don't know if you'd be able to keep up with them. But anyway, we'll do that in a future video probably.
Yes, stay tuned for that.
Yeah.
All right, so the other thing, if you notice, we have these straps coming down. I think they're 2,000 PSI or something like that. Not PSI. Brake strength. It's 2,000 pounds. And we put these strappings on here to eventually attach the roof to it.
That's another building code, you guys.
Yeah, it's another building code.
Yeah, it's to withstand, it's to keep your roof on, basically, so that your roof doesn't blow off and the very heavy winds that we get.
Yeah, I mean, there's nothing up, everything up here has to be secured. It has to be definitely pinned down 5 different directions. But we are also, we put in 2 sky bridge door entrances. They don't need to have any door on it. Doesn't need to have screening on it, because that's where our specialty breed of chicken is going to leave the chicken coop out, is these sky bridge doorways.
Come here, Luna. Hi.
They'll go to the chicken runs eventually. I think that this is pretty much it for this video. Expect for the next few videos, it should be building on this thing. We want to really, it's June and monsoon is coming, and hopefully it doesn't come too soon this year, but we want to get at least the walls done in the next week. And there's a lot entailed in that. We have to put in the rest of those cinder block venting for the passive air conditioning, and we need to put in some specific more railroad ties, and also some kind of cleat work that's going to hold down the roof besides the hurricane straps.
Yeah, and we kind of had a hard time finding when you type in a search for hurricane straps, you get the little metal brackets, and we probably will incorporate those into the roof, but the actual straps we had a hard time finding. So we're going to put the link for that in the description if it's something you guys are looking for. They're not expensive. We just ended up buying 2 huge rolls of it.
Yeah.
And they've been working really well. They're flexible enough to work with, but they're also, I guess, rigid enough to be able to screw screws into or hammer a nail through.
I will find out what she's been climbing in one day.
I mean, it's mud.
Yeah, it's not mud. It's some secret of the desert that she has discovered. We have not yet. Yeah, it's because one knows more than the other. Yep. Alright guys, so if you like this video, go ahead and hit that like button at the bottom.
Yeah.
And if you want to be a member, it's very easy. You just go down there to the membership tab and start clicking buttons.
Yeah, so we really appreciate you guys following along and sticking around to the end. If you know somebody that wants to live like this or is interested in learning more about it, feel free to share our videos. We always appreciate that. We know there's a few of you that, Jeff in Ohio for one, that always shares our videos on his social media. So we really appreciate that and your confidence in us. So thanks for sticking around, you guys. We'll see you soon.
Adios.
Oh, there's